Hey guys, welcome back to Through the Screen. I'm Emily.
I'm Charlotte.
I'm Erika.
We hope you've been enjoying our episodes so far and liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. If you missed any of them, head on over to our channel and watch, and if you're not already, be sure to subscribe while you're there. This week, we will be discussing a very important animal issue, so we hope you'll follow us once again as we join together via Skype to bring you conversations through the screen.
In this week's episode, we will be discussing the cruelties of dogfighting and what you can do to help end it. We will also be bringing you a heartwarming story about 3 unlikely animals that share a very special bond, reviewing a vegan do-it-yourself beer shampoo and conditioner. Yes, you heard that correctly. And finally, sharing our thoughts on this week's episode of Dancing with the Stars. First up, dogfighting.
This week we chose to discuss dogfighting as April is Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Month and next week, April 8th, is Dogfighting Awareness Day. So what exactly is dogfighting? It is basically a wrestling match or a UFC fight but with dogs. The difference is the loser dies, whether by the brutal match of defending itself against another dog or by the hands of their owner. There is no happy ending for either animal because, as we all know, just because that dog won this fight doesn't mean that it will win the next one. And if it does, what are the odds that it will win again? Which is where the sport comes in. Gambling, hard-earned cash on an animal's ability to defend itself is one of the cruelest ways for man's best friend to live.
So many people consider dogfighting a sport, and its origins can be traced back as far as 43 AD when the Romans and British used dogs in warfare as a symbol of their country's strength and might. Today, dogfighting is much more gruesome practice and was really brought to light after the conviction of well-known dogfighter and former quarterback of the Atlantic Falcons, Michael Vick, in 2007. In these horrible practices, dogs are kept chained in yards and are often starved to trigger aggression and survival instincts. They are also trained by treading water in pools, being forced to hang from chains by their teeth to build strength, and run on treadmills where scared animals such as rabbits or cats are dangled in front of them as bait. Kittens have been known to be used as a target practice for these dogs. Many dogs are given steroids, have their ears cut, and are often fed roach poison to make their fur foul tasting to the opposing dog. In the ring, dogs are pitted against each other and encouraged to fight until one dog is seriously injured or dies, which sometimes takes hours. While the crowd cheers them on and makes bet on a winner, females are chained down and forced to breed with dogs, and their puppies are sold for profit. Fighting dogs can bring in a profit of up to $100,000. However, when dogs are no longer able to fight, they are often killed by drowning, electrocution, hanging, being shot or slammed against the ground, etc. And while a specific number is hard to get since dogfighting is a felony offense in all 50 states in the U.S., it's estimated that tens of thousands of people are involved in this cruel practice. And it also is common in many other countries, in countries such as Afghanistan, Japan, and parts of Russia. Dogfighting is even legal.
Yeah, so, these facts are just incredibly sad, and a lot of these I had known for a few years, but some of them, when I read into them, I was really shocked at some of the things that are done. As we've talked about on the show multiple times, a lot of motivation for things is greed, and we can definitely see that here. Obviously, this practice is illegal, but because of the profit that it brings in, people aren't willing to stop it anytime soon, and I think that's just incredibly sad that they can't see that these animals are, have feelings and are being hurt and killed. Obviously they do, but they're really just caring about the money, and I think that's a really sad thing. So Obviously, a lot of people know that the most common breed used for dogfighting is Pitbulls because of their muscular build and their extremely strong jaws. Sadly, this has created kind of a stigma for pit bulls that they are naturally mean and aggressive dogs. Some cities in the past have even banned these dogs and taken them from their owners. And because of this, many of these dogs are subject to euthanasia in shelters. It's estimated that out of the 6 to 8 million animals surrendered to shelters each year, 1 in 4 of them are pit bulls, simply because they are falsely listed as the world's most dangerous breed, and this is just not true at all. I've even been guilty of this stigma myself. I remember specifically one time when I was younger, I was going out to the car to go to school, and there were these 2 pit bulls running around on my street. And when they came towards me, I remember being really scared, like, oh my gosh, these are pit bulls, they're going to attack me. And the bigger one actually jumped and put his paws on my shoulder and licked my face. So that was kind of my first lesson to not judge a certain breed right when you see it, because dogs are only as mean as they're raised to be. And, it's just really sad that they can't break this stigma because there's even data to show that it's not true. The American Temperament Testing Society has tested over 122 different dog breeds to evaluate aggression and other types of things, and pit bulls scored an 86% for good temperament, making them the second most tolerant breed after golden retrievers. So that really kind of puts things into perspective too, that there's really data to kind of back this up as well. And one organization called Lovable, I think is based in Austin, Texas. They have information on their website about, the stigma of pit bulls, and they kind of put on an event that is centered around this. So there are people that are trying to break this stigma, but sadly it still does exist. But ultimately what we have to remember is that pits are not the problem, and as with most things in the world, people are the problem.
While Emily discussed the use of pit bulls in such horrible conditions, I chose to discuss the use of bulldogs. Bulldogs literally came to be for the use of dogfighting. While not in the traditional sense as we know it, they were bred to literally defeat a bull. In England, bull baiting was once a popular sport. It consists of a dog getting its jaw on a bull's snout and clamping on. When the dog owners realized that the bigger, more traditional fighting dogs couldn't compete, they started breeding for a smaller-legged dog with a strong jaw. Something I found very interesting considering what the bulldog represents in the United States. Some of the things you can do if you suspect that dogfighting is happening in your neighborhood is contact local law enforcement authorities. Since dogfighters typically keep their dogs chained, you can help deter dogfighters by pushing for an anti-chaining ordinance in your community. And as always, we would like to hear your comments and thoughts down below on this important subject.
Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. Most of us have heard this phrase many times in our lives, but not very many of us could ever picture these animals actually living together. However, at Noah's Ark Animal Sanctuary in Locust Grove, Georgia, a lion named Leo, a tiger named Shere Khan, and a bear named Baloo have been inseparable for 15 years. The 3 were rescued from a basement in Atlanta during a drug raid when they were less than a year old. Leo, Shere Khan, and Baloo were scared, malnourished, and carrying internal parasites. They had deep cuts from being contained in cages and ropes. However, Baloo had the worst injuries and needed to undergo surgery to seal his wounds. This surgery was the first and only time the 3 were ever separated. Their injuries were too severe to release them back into the wild, so today they live together at the sanctuary, much older, but healthy and happier than ever to enjoy each other's company. They do everything together, but most importantly, they redefine the bond of animals, especially those in vastly different species. So we hope you all found this story as touching as we did, and we will of course link the article down below where you can read more about the story.
This week, Emily and I chose to do something a little unconventional for our product of the week. We found a vegan do-it-yourself shampoo and conditioner that uses beer as an ingredient. While I wasn't a fan at the thought of adding beer to my hair, I was actually surprised by my end result. Erika will first explain the benefits of adding such a product to your hair. So, Erika?
So, beer actually has a whole bunch of antioxidants, and it's super good for your not only your hair but your skin. Antioxidants actually are so good for your body. They fight off sickness. So, I think it's really funny that you can apply it to your hair and your skin. But, anyways.
So for mine, I did the shampoo, and it was basically just adding beer and a vegan shampoo together. So I combined the two, and I was actually surprised by my end result because not only is my hair like it's not as like dry, it's a little less frizzy as well, and it's very shiny. The smell, however, I am not a fan of.
No.
So I will most likely end up washing my hair again because I am not a fan of the smell. But other than that, I was actually surprised by the end result.
Yeah, so I agree. I actually did a beer conditioner. So that is basically just a cup of warm beer, and then you add a teaspoon of some kind of oil. They recommend jojoba or flax oil. I didn't have either of these, so I use a different kind of oil. You can use, olive, vegetable, whatever you have. So you mix these two together. You can also add mashed avocado if you want. I didn't do this. I just did the beer and oil. So yeah, I mean, the smell is really hard to do, like when you're putting it on and also after, especially if you do it at night and you wake up the next morning and you smell like beer. It's not the best thing to smell. But I was really surprised with this. I mean, my hair, I applied it to the part of my hair and it's so much less frizzy and shiny, and I don't know, it just feels good. So it's hard to get over the smell, but I really do like this. Maybe you can get a beer that's a little bit sweeter or something, but I think in Charlotte's case it's probably a little bit better because if you do the shampoo, you can put on a conditioner afterwards. But if you do it as a conditioner, it's kind of the smell still stays. Okay, well, if you like the smell of beer, I mean, it's probably good. But I mean, as far as it does what it's supposed to do, and I was actually really surprised to find out how good it is for your skin and your hair. So I think this was definitely a winner.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely give it a thumbs up, but again, the smell is a little harsh to get, past. So
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't apply enough conditioner to my hair. Maybe next time I have to add, more just to get rid of the smell or something. I don't know, but yeah. So, of course, as always, we will link these recipes down below so you can try them for yourselves if you like. And be sure to let us know if you do. And, just let us know what you guys think.
This week in Dancing with the Stars, we had a little bit of flavor with Latin Week. From cha-cha to rumba, the stars performed their best Latin dances. We lost one professional during rehearsals, and by the end of the episode, we lost one of our stars to the season's first elimination. So, what did you guys think about this week's performances? Who were your favorites, and how do you feel about the elimination?
Well, as far as the elimination, I wasn't surprised by the bottom three at all. And I wasn't surprised by who went home either, which was Geraldo Rivera and Edita.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after seeing his Latin dance, it was just clear that, he deserved to go home. Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah, there was a lot of, I don't know, for me, Latin Week, I feel like lends sometimes. I really do, because I look at the dances. I don't necessarily always look at the performers. And sometimes, when they do dances, certain types of dances, like a cha-cha or rumba, a rumba especially is, so emotional and so, heartfelt and connected. And it's if you don't have that on the floor, then it makes it so hard for me to root for you. And then there's certain dances that are upbeat and happy, and I just felt like some performances did not capture the essence of the actual dance. Is like I felt like what Len was saying at the end of the episode to Val and Ginger, how he was like, you guys captured the essence of your dance, and you actually, did a lot of dance moves, whereas they didn't. You know what I mean? And he kind of like called all the rest of them out.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way. I really did.
Yeah. I mean, except for, I think Jody and Keo, he told Keo that there was a lot of substance in their dance and a lot of moves that he recognized. Yeah. I mean, theirs was definitely one of my favorites of the night. I think Jody improved a lot, at least, especially in her facial expressions. Yes. It was changing. She looked like she was having fun and really getting into it. So, I'm definitely seeing, even just from these 2 weeks, I'm seeing her improve a lot. So I'm really rooting for her, especially. I mean, a lot of the performers didn't do so well this week. As you said, Geraldo and Edita, it definitely was not a surprise at all. And I was also upset because she was wearing this huge fur coat, and I'm like, I really hope that's not real, because I don't like that. but yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't a surprise at all. But I think one of my absolute favorites was Paige, who actually danced with Alan because Mark had slipped a disc in his back, I guess. But, I mean, just for him stepping in at last minute, I think they did a really good job. I love the song that they danced to. It's one of my favorites. I think some of the moves were really, really cool, and some of the tricks that they did. So they were definitely one of my favorites. As I said, Jody and Keo. I think Wanye, whose name I pronounced incorrectly last time, I think they did pretty well. I think they were really energetic in their dance, and so, they're another group that I'm rooting for a lot. I really liked Niall and Peta's dance, so I was upset with the judges' comments. I see what they're saying, that it was probably too powerful for the dance that they were doing, but I think he's really, really good, so I was kind of upset with that, but I really liked their dance too.
Niall and Peta are my favorite. Even since last week I said that. And I'm just like an OC fan, so I just love Misha, and I'm very disappointed in the dances that she's been performing with her partner, so dang. But
not the dances, but the way she acts.
Yeah.
And just the way she acts in general, after the dances, before the dances, in rehearsals, you're never going to learn if you're always taking breaks. You're never going to learn if you're not, trying to commit it 110%. It might not be what you thought it was. Gonna be I don't know what you thought you were getting yourself into, but the only way you're gonna make anything out of it is if you work at it instead of bitching and complaining about it all the time, which is basically all she does.
Yeah, she just needs a much more positive attitude about it, I think. And during the elimination, it actually seemed like she was disappointed that she wasn't the one to go home.
Yeah. She wasn't the one who we sent home, and that just pissed me off too, because as bad as Geraldo was, he wanted to be there. You know what I mean? And at least he wanted to be there. At least he wasn't bitching and complaining, Mm-hmm. I'm not even joking. I really am disappointed in her, because that's just a big slap in the face to all of your fans.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I mean her package alone might make people feel the same way you did. She might actually be the next one to go because of that, because people probably don't like the way that she was acting. So I don't know, we'll see. I think she definitely is a contender for the next person to go, though.
Yeah, I agree, especially after all of that package and that hot mess of a dance.
Yep.
One thing I will say, though, Doug really disappointed me last week, but I was actually pretty impressed by him this week. I think he made a huge improvement, so I was happy with that. I think he definitely improved a lot, and the paso is a dance where you have to be really strong and really hard, and he didn't go full force on it, but I think he did really well considering it was only the second week.
For week 2, I agree. It was definitely a strong paso for week 2, and if he gets the chance to later on, say sometimes, judges pick or something like that. They'll pick an old dance, that week that you did previous and they want you to do it again. Maybe that should be his dance that, if he makes it towards the end, that's the pick the judges will do his first week or the paso because like Emily said, it's a really, really hard dance and you have to be like really, really hard, strong, masculine. You have to lead and that's not all things you can accomplish by week 2. So.
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed our review on this week's Dancing with the Stars. We will link some links down below where you can check out the performances for yourself. Also be sure to tune in next week. We will be talking about the most memorable year week on Dancing with the Stars. So be sure to tune in then and let us know what you think down below. This week's artist is one that many of you watching probably have never heard of. Recently turned 25-year-old Kevin Garrett from Brooklyn, New York. Starting in 2014, Kevin Garrett has gained popularity with his powerful melodies and soulful voice, and has even toured with one of our past featured artists, Alessia Cara. His song Coloring is our song of the week, and it is a beautiful and haunting Sam Smith-inspired song about a troubled relationship he is struggling to make work. And the music video illustrates this. So what did you guys think about this song and artist?
For me, I really, really liked this song. I've only heard it like once or twice, but it really connected with me. It's a really deep song. You can tell he put a lot of, emotion into his lyrics and into the, song itself. So I really, really like it.
I have to agree with Charlotte. It is very deep, and you can tell that there was a lot of emotion written into it. It's something that I would definitely listen to again. And yeah, I just really like it.
And like how Emily said, how it's Sam Smith inspired, like right off the bat, you can just tell it really is. Like if I didn't know who it was, I would be like, this is Sam Smith. You know what I mean? Like, somebody would have to convince me it was somebody else. So, I mean, very, very talented.
Yeah, and actually when I was doing more research on him, I found out that Sam Smith is actually one of his supporters, so that wasn't surprising either. So yeah, I mean, it sounds just like a Sam Smith song when it starts out. I really love it. I think it's just very soulful and beautiful, and I really enjoyed it. And the first time that we all kind of heard of him was when Holly Marie Combs had tweeted that she was listening to his music, and of course we follow everything that she listens to, so we decided to give it a try. So we hope you enjoyed our pick this week, and we'd also like to wish a happy belated birthday to Kevin Garrett. If you'd like to listen to this song, we will link the official video down below, as well as where you can purchase it for yourself. So be sure to tell us what you think.
Okay guys, that's our show. We hope you enjoyed this installment of Through the Screen. If you did, be sure to like down below and also subscribe to the channel. We also appreciate any feedback you may have. We post new videos every week, and we'd love for you to join and tell all your friends. Next week, we'll be discussing a brand new topic, so you won't want to miss it. Until then, thanks for watching, stay informed, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye! Bye.